We now turn to our readings this morning, and we have two readings from the book of Genesis as we continue in our studies in the life of Jacob. And our first reading is found in Genesis and chapter 42, and we're going to pick up the reading at verse 25. Just a very brief introduction to this section. I'll say a little bit more about it later on. Jacob's sons are returning now from Egypt. There is a famine in the land, and they come back to report to their father Jacob of how their mission had gone. So, verse 25 of Genesis 42. Then Joseph gave a command to fill their sacks with grain, to restore every man's money to his sack, and give them provisions for the journey. This he did for them. So they loaded their donkeys with the grain and departed from there. But as one of them opened his sack to give his donkey feed at the encampment, he saw his money, and there it was in the mouth of his sack. So he said to his brothers, "My money has been restored, and there it is in my sack." Then their hearts failed them, and they were afraid, saying to one another, "What is this that God has done for us?" Then they went to Jacob, their father, in the land of Canaan, and told him all that had happened to them, saying, "The man who is lord of the land spoke roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country. But we said to him, 'We are honest men, we are not spies. We are 12 brothers, sons of our father. One is no more, and the youngest is with our father, and this day in the land of Canaan.' Then the man, the lord of the country, said to us, 'By this I will know that you are honest men. Leave one of your brothers here with me. Take food for the famine of your households, and be gone. And bring your youngest brother to me, so I shall know that you are not spies, and that you are honest men. I will grant your brother to you, and you may trade in the land.' Then it happened as they emptied their sacks that surprisingly each man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. And Jacob, their father, said to them, 'You have bereaved me. Joseph is no more, Simeon is no more, and you want to take Benjamin. All these things are against me.' Then Reuben spoke to his father, saying, 'Kill my 2 sons. If I do not bring him back to you, put him in my hands, and I will bring him back to you.' But he said, 'My son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If any calamity should befall him along the way in which you go, then you would bring down my grey hair with sorrow to the grave.'" And then moving forward to chapter 48 of Genesis, and this time we pick up the reading at verse 8. And again, a little background. Jacob knows that his days are very limited, that he soon will depart this life. But before he does so, he wants to bestow blessings upon his family, and particularly upon his 2 grandchildren, Ephraim and Manasseh. He wants to convey to them the blessing of the Lord. And we read about this blessing in verse 8 and following. So, reading at verse 8 of chapter 48. "Then Israel saw Joseph's sons and said, 'Who are these?' And Joseph said to his father, 'They are my sons whom God has given me in this place.' And he said, 'Please bring them to me, and I will bless them.' Now the eyes of Israel were dim with age, so that he could not see. Then Joseph brought them near him, and he kissed them and embraced them. And Israel said to Joseph, 'I had not thought to see your face, but in fact God also has shown me your offspring.' So Joseph brought them from beside his knees, and he bowed down with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim with his right hand towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh with his left hand towards Israel's right hand, and brought them near him. Then Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it on Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand on Manasseh's head, guiding his hands knowingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, God, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac walked, the God who has fed me all my life long to this day, bless the lads. Let my name be named upon them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. May the Lord bless those readings of his word to our own understanding this morning. Now we're going to sing once more. It's our second hymn, number 762 in Christian hymns. Teach me thy way, O Lord, teach me thy way. Thy gracious aid afford, teach me thy way. Help me to walk aright, more by faith, less by sight. Lead me with heavenly light, teach me thy way. This hymn, or the music that is set to it, is compiled by Rod Smith.